to my fourth session of Women Empowered. Today I have a very empowering woman. Her name is Esther Taub. She is an incredible personal trainer, and she has inspired me for like a few years now already.
I'm so excited to talk about the compliments I have for you. Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna go next. You do you.
I love you. And I'm just so excited to talk to you today. The topic that I wanted to talk to Esther about, because it's just so apparent in everything that she does, is positivity. And I think that we have a lot to learn from her. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I just will say real quick before I guess we get into the questions, something I mentioned to Rebecca was I was just so happy when you initially reached out to me that you were like, oh, Esther, hey, like I'm doing this YouTube stuff. I was like, oh my God, I know all about it. I'm so excited. But the main thing that really touched my heart, I guess I'll call it, is when you said the main subject you'd like to talk to me about is positivity in general. And that's I really appreciate you noticing that about my personality, and that's something I really like to portray overall throughout, all everything my clients, my fitness, my everything like that. It's really important for me to show that to people, and I was really happy that you noticed it and decided to even want to talk about it with me. So thank you.
Yes, of course. So Esther, can you tell me, I introduced you, but can you tell me a little bit about what you do in your words and why you love it so much?
Okay, so as you mentioned, I am a personal trainer located in Israel. I dedicate my life to helping women and men, but mainly women is just what my daily basis looks like, become the best version of themselves. I'm a personal trainer, so the way I make that happen is through fitness. And I spend every day from morning till night training incredible women that, as much as, it's like, oh, my personal trainer, tells me what to do, whatever, they inspire me. They're, it's a great feeling, doing what I do and making sure that I can, go to sleep with a really great feeling, because I know that I can help change people's lives. So that's overall what I do throughout the day. And yeah, it's really just about changing people's lives.
And you also have a program called Empower, right?
So that is it's an online fitness program. So thank God I have so many clients, that I can't actually physically train them all and be with all of them in person. Yeah. So I decided to create an online fitness program which helps people, all over the world now. It's pretty overwhelming how much people are a part of this fitness kind of, team that we've created, and it's inspiring seeing how many people kind of are changing their lives through fitness because of something that I guess created and love so much and really connect to. So
incredible.
That's kind of what I do, and I love it.
I mean, there are a lot of personal trainers out there, but I think that there is something really special about you. And in terms of your social media and the presence you put out there, it's so positive, so energetic. Anytime I mention you, I'm always like, oh, I do not know how she has so much energy. Where does it come from? First of all, where does your energy come from? And
it's a good question.
Where does your positivity come from?
Okay.
Because I really feel like it's genuine, right?
Thank God.
Feel free to elaborate.
I will get on to all of it.
Awesome.
So, once again, I appreciate so much you pointing it out. And I didn't go into my compliments about you, but we all know how obsessed we are about Rebecca, you are beyond inspiring, and the things that you are doing and that you are helping me be a part of, or so many different women who are trying to make a difference in this world being a part of, and just overall the way that you go about life is inspiring and beautiful, and you're a special way, and I mean that, and I'm just so happy to be here with you right now. Anyway, so I really do mean that. So I guess we'll talk about where my positivity comes from and my energy. So I have been nicknamed the name Energizer Bunny. That is something that people very often like to call me, and I really like it when I know that, I'll just be honest, before we get into all of everything about positivity, where it comes from, I don't know if there's a secret to being positive and like, oh, how did you do it? What was the, formula to become, like, I really do know this was something I was born with. I was always a pretty upbeat person. I've always had a crazy amount of energy, as a kid or whatever.
Was that like what your family was like?
No,
or it's just
no.
you?
People meet my parents and are like, so you're adopted, right? My parents are like the most normal, calm, like to themselves, kind of people, and I'm just like, let's party. Anyways, so
did you like get into sports right away when you were young?
No, honestly, I was always really into gym class. That was literally it. There was nothing particularly big about fitness in my life. I just always had a lot of energy, and I always really, really used it for what I could, like, in life. Like, wherever I was in life, I would kind of use it. So it hit me around age 19 when I was like, you know what, maybe I'm going to start using this for something, that is healthy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, creating healthy habits. What's a healthy habit? Working out. Okay, let's get into that. It's also a funny story of how I actually got into fitness. I can go on about that if you want, a different time. But the idea is I really was just always like this. And it took I think it's really, really important, like you're asking about, let's say, like the genuine factor. Oh my God, I have so much to talk about that. Like, there are people out there that, unfortunately, like I have, met, thank God, with this industry. Like, my business is growing and I'm meeting people from all over the world very often, and it just, there's certain times you'll have this like perception of them, like I don't know them at all unless, like, only through social media. And then I meet them in person and I'm like, you're unpleasant. Like,
you're a different person.
You're a different person.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was, I won't get into details, but I'm thinking of like one specific time where, like, that's what I do. I'm just a happy person taking a video or whatever, and I was doing this collaboration with someone one time, and like, I don't know, I started doing the story, and she just the whole time was just on her phone, literally not paying attention at all, a pretty, like, not upbeat person at all, and the way I knew her, I was like, oh, that's so unfortunate, I know you so differently, and like, the minute I turned on my camera, she like gives me this hug, I love Esther, and I was like, this is uncomfortable.
Gosh.
Yeah, like, things like that are, like, there's people like that in the world, and it is the least comfortable thing to be. I didn't even post it, by the way. Like, that collaboration was like, I can't be a part of this. And like, it's just to elaborate and put an emphasis on how important it is that people are genuine in what they do and authentic and what their personality is like. I understand some people are a bit different on social media or whatever, but like, it is so important to me to be myself on social media and in person. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I'm training a client, right, like, generally, I find it really important, like, they're not coming to me for me to be like, I had the worst day and like just vent out all my problems, whatever. Like, they're coming to me to be like, Esther, put me in a good mood, whether it's through fitness, whether it's through, just being around you, whatever. Like, I love that. I love getting to be like a person that can help change people's moods around. So it's really important that I know that I can channel my energy at the right times.
Yeah. How do you do that? Like, if, let's say you are having a bad day, like, how do you bring your A game?
I guess I really think that the main thing is to just focus on what's important right now. Okay, like, don't get me wrong, like, I have bad moods. Like, you should see when I'm hungry. Oh my God.
Angry.
Oh my God. Like, I'm a mean person and I'm angry.
Me too.
But, like, who isn't, right? But, at the end of the day, I kind of just try to make sure that, let's say my life right now is personal training and always being around people. And I try to make sure that if there's things that I need to deal with, I just put it in a different...
You, like, compartmentalize things. Yeah.
Like, it's not a good idea to book a session and then go deal with, like, our Nona and, like, whatever, and then a second night or, like, have a session.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be in the zone. I need to make sure that I'm fed. I have enough sleep. Like, there's a lot of things that I really need to be on top of. I know myself very well.
Self-care-wise.
Self-care, making sure I'm just feeling good, I'm wearing clothes that I want to wear. Like, there's so many things that can affect how you're feeling, and that's something I like to really be on top of before I train anyone, or just throughout my day, just planning my day well. You know what I mean? Like, actually, Rebecca asked me before we started this interview, like, wow, how do you have time for this? Like,
yeah,
it's
she has so many clients.
Thank God. I do have a crazy day on a daily basis. And I said, I make time for this because this is what I want to do, because this is something that's going to make me happy.
Yeah.
So it's really important that if you're looking to be a happy person, again, there's no formula to it. There's no like, okay, do X, Y, Z and you'll be happy. No, but try to build your day around things that you love. Mm-hmm. Make sure that there's, you know, you're comfortable in what you're wearing, that you like your hair today, you know, that you're, you know, in a job that you're with people that aren't, I don't know, horrible to you. Just whatever it is.
You're like prioritizing yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Which is so funny because people end up thinking that's selfish or they feel guilty to prioritize themselves,
so
when really, like, by you prioritizing yourself, like, you personally are helping so many people, like, uplifting them, you know? And just being a nice person throughout your day. Like, think about if you come across someone who's just, like, crabby and having a horrible day, like, it affects you, you know?
It's
so
really, really exactly what you're saying. You have to prioritize yourself, and I've seen that helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you like bring snacks with you throughout the day so you don't get hangry?
Oh, yes.
What do you bring? Tell me your snacks, your secrets.
Yes, it's not a secret. It's like, I'm pretty obsessed with fruit.
Uh-huh.
It's like candy from God,
Yeah.
I like to say.
Yes.
Yeah, I just make sure
For a personal trainer, at least.
Right, you know, people hear my snacks like, that's not snacks. Like,
that's
not
a
gross.
candy.
But at the end of the day, there isn't secrets, you know. I eat things that I like, and I make sure, you know, if there's something that I'm really into, like, I don't know, dried mango, I know it's like my happy snack or whatever.
That is like candy.
Okay, it so is.
So good.
It's all modified with that.
Yes.
I mean, I'll keep that in moderation and make sure, like, you know, you keep things in check. But
yes.
The overall idea is to just make sure that you, you know, prioritize yourself, make sure you're feeling good, and then go into your day, because that is a really huge thing, a tip I have when it comes to fitness, to happiness. And another thing I think I'll point out is, I know this is like, it sounds a little corny, I'll be honest, like it's a bit like, okay, whatever, but if you can just kind of shift this mindset, okay, and I mean this, like you decide, especially if you work with people, even if you work behind a desk all day, you usually are interacting with people, most likely, to see the good in people, okay? And you make that transition in your head of like, I could be a person that gets so pissed at everything that everyone does, or I could be like, you know what, like, they do annoying things.
And
but
how did you learn that? Like, that's not something that comes so naturally to people.
That's my mom.
Aww.
That's from my mom. My mom, as you know, calm as she is, everything she has taught me to, I don't know, try to make people feel comfortable around me.
Yeah. And
really see the good in people and make sure that, like, I'll give an example. This literally happened this morning. This sounds scary. It's not scary.
I know, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no, this happened this morning. I was like, I'm talking about this with Rebecca. I was pulling out of my driveway and this guy, like, came kind of...
He's driving.
Yeah, like, kind of, like, bumped into the back of my car.
Oh no.
And I was like, no! And my initial thought was like, oh my God, like, this is not what I needed right now. That sucks. But, like, I you know, we looked at the car, everything was fine, like, he apologized, gave me his whatever, and, like, he was so nice about it, and nothing happened to my car, literally.
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing, and nothing happened to his, and I was like, okay, instead of being like, what happened, this is the worst possible way to start my morning, there's for sure something wrong with the inside of my car that I can't see, there's this, instead, I'm gonna say, it was an honest mistake, both of us are okay, this could have been way worse, and we're fine. And it's
I actually
like,
just had a very similar thing happen to me last week.
Yeah.
And she was like, she apologized, and, you know, I said, that's okay. I couldn't even believe, like, what I was saying, because I remember like other things happening, like, you know, when I was a teenager, or like seeing car accidents and people yelling at each other or whatever. But I'm like, that's okay. Mistakes happen. Like, it just literally came out of my mouth, and I'm like, yeah, what is the point of, like, getting mad or making you know,
it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think there's times to get mad. Yes. Like, there are times to get mad. I'm not saying, like, too bad, smile anyway. No, I'm not sure. Absolutely not.
No.
But there's times where it's like, is this worth getting mad? Literally nothing happened.
Right.
I'm gonna have a great day now.
Right.
What's the big deal? And like, why would I let this ruin my day? So it's obviously, I think,
It's
a
like
natural
adjusting
thing.
your mindset. Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's amazing.
So seeing the good in people, making sure you prioritize yourself, and trying to look at things. It's so hard, by the way. We're talking as if it's like, yeah, just do this.
Yeah.
I get that it's so hard. I get this
Yeah.
is not a natural thing to do for a lot of people. And I know that, thank God, I was born with it more natural. Like, it's more natural to me. I understand that.
Yeah.
But having someone remind you
possible.
is a great way to kind of like shift your mindset.
Yeah.
So.
And it's something that I think that, like, even for someone that it comes naturally to, like, it is something that you have to work on, and it is was a decision that you made this morning, like, I'm not gonna let this ruin my day. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, blah, 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 everything's fine. It's like, I could feel this way, or I could feel this way, depending on how I want to frame it.
That's right. You have to think about it.
Yeah.
You have to decide. Becoming happy is not just a, like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna click a switch and I'm happy now. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of self, just internalizing and understanding yourself, thinking about what you want in life, thinking about like what you want to, how you want to run your life, and
Kind of person you want to be.
kind of person you want to be. And if this is important to you to have a positive outlook on life, it's a lot of hard work. It
Do you
is.
also, like, surround yourself with people who are really positive?
Oh my God, don't get me started. I literally, let's put it this way, my best
Love
friend,
her.
I'm serious, I'm so serious, like, okay, let's start with like my like inner circle, right, like my family, okay, my husband, like, there's people that you can choose, essentially at the end of the day, you can choose who you want to be close to in your life, or hang out with, or do collaborations with, or things like that.
Which is like a very empowering thing once you realize it, because I feel like when I was much younger, I was like, oh, this is my friends, like I don't really have a choice, you know, but as you get older, you like learn yourself, you're like, okay, this is who I want to surround myself with.
Exactly.
In your inner circle.
Absolutely.
Is important.
Oh my God. Like, if you are around people that are constantly bringing you down / pointing out the negative things in life, it's very hard for you to always be the one to be like, no, we're fine. Like, it 100% is a huge thing. I've been told by a lot of my clients that, you know, that is a reason that they came to me, and which
I was going to ask you that, like, they were attracted to, a lot of your clients were attracted to you for that reason, for your personality.
Thank God. I guess I'll be honest here with this. I guess, right? I guess. I mean, just because these are people's personal, whatever, and obviously I won't say names or anything, but I would like to say a good 60% of my clients battle with depression or anxiety. It is a very common, normal thing, and you know, I won't use the word cure, but I will use one of the ways to cope with depression is fitness.
Exercise.
And imagine your trainer was this person who's like, give me 50, and like never smiled and never whatever. Like, how are you supposed to cope with this kind of thing without having someone who's like a positive
on your team,
kind of vibe? Like, it's so important to me to make sure that people who come to my sessions are aware, like, they're about to have a personality, their mood changed. That is my goal. Whether it's through me, whether it's through the endorphins, you know, of fitness, like, trust me, I've seen miracles. Literally, like, personalities that are literally like a 180. You start a session, you're like, I'm having the worst day ever. Okay, I'm just gonna go to a session, possibly not in the mood to work out. That's normal too. And my goal is that every single time, obviously the physical results are so important, and the actual, you know, I want to be sore after this. Of course, that's so important. But my goal is for people to leave a session with me and be like, I feel better, and I feel good about myself, about my day, and overall. And that's something I do know that people have hired me, knowing that is
it's very therapeutic.
Thank God. It's definitely it's fun.
Especially when you see it that way, because I feel like there are a lot of professions that could possibly be therapeutic, and exercise definitely is. But like you said, like, if you don't have the right framework around you know, really wanting to help people and give them a safe place and empower them to like, you know, be the best versions of themselves, then like it's just exercise. And yeah, it will help, but like it can't be an internal journey
it's
as much,
unfortunate,
you know?
really, that people don't always do that. I know trainers like that in the world. I do know trainers like that who are like, and don't get me wrong, there's people who need that. That's okay. If some people are like, no, I need someone to yell at me and be mean to me the whole session. Like, okay, that's not my thing.
Do you work with men or only women?
Generally, I train only women. I have a male trainer who works for me in my, business who trains the men. That's usually what I do. And the main reason I see that as like necessary is because I just feel like men and women are very different. And I can understand women and a lot more than I can understand men, I think.
Right.
And so that's kind of
so like you know that you can offer them more.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I can relate. I can understand things that they're thinking.
I'm getting my period.
Exactly. Like my boobs hurt when I'm jumping up and down. Like I get that.
Yes.
Like, sometimes,
You definitely get that, Esther.
These are things that you gotta relate to people, and at the end of the day, that is definitely really important to be able to relate.
I remember that was like one of the first things I asked you when we trained together. I was like, what bra do you wear? Like, it must be amazing.
People ask me that a lot. I'm going to actually get them custom made. Fun fact.
Custom made?
That is right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact.
It is
We should put that under the video. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Really fun.
Oh my god.
This video just took a turn.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I am a boudoir photographer.
You knew it had to come, guys. You knew it
had to come down to boobs. Amazing.
Anyways, so that's at the end of the day, exactly. I can relate to women more because I am a woman. And
That's
I guess
awesome.
that's pretty much,
That's it.
Like now I'm like thinking about my bra. What's the store called? Like,
What is it called?
I mean, it's this company that once they kind of like, I don't actually remember. It's actually the issue. I don't remember. It's somewhere in Brooklyn, and they make sports bras and regular bras. Yeah, I really get bras like once a year.
When you go to America.
Yeah, I want to know what it's called. This is so sad. I could be advertising for them here. I'm sorry, guys.
We'll add the link if she figures it out.
So many questions after this.
Yes. It's an important one. It's hard to get them.
It's true.
Especially sports bras. Okay, so let's go over the things that can help you be more positive. Prioritizing yourself. What else?
Surrounding yourself by people that are uplifting, right? Not bringing you down. Making sure that you just decide to kind of reframe your life. Make sure you have your what you love is happening throughout your day generally. Energizing yourself properly, making sure you have the right snacks and sleep and food, and just overall making the conscious decision to look at the good in people.
Do you think exercising and like your fitness and nutrition has helped with that kind of mindset over the years?
I tell this to people. I don't know if it's like totally true, but I kind of want to believe it's true. I literally tell this to people sometimes. I'm just like, oh, I'd be the crankiest person in the world if I didn't work out as many times as I do throughout a day.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I
Are
really
you
don't
really
know.
working out all day? And like, how often do you work out?
Okay.
I think everybody wants to know this, right?
This is a good question. I guess this asks a lot. Okay, so two things. I think I used to be a bit of an extremist. I have worked a lot on myself. I've been training now. I've been doing personal training for 8 years now. So when I first started, it was literally just like, I'm gonna do the workout with every single client. And it was very silly.
Yeah.
It was really truly silly because I would hurt myself.
Yeah.
Right? And I'd come home wiped. Literally wiped. People don't believe that. Like, you can't ever be wiped. I said, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I sleep.
Yeah, I need my sleep. And, so the idea is if I, went with that mentality, I mean, given I just, was starting out, I just thought that's what I have to do. It's the most professional thing to work out with every single client. It's not, okay? What I've learned throughout my years, the most professional thing you can do as a personal trainer is listen to your clients, right? And learn what they like, even if they don't talk, right? Even if they're not talking, you gotta pick up what they like.
Have to be like intuitive.
Yeah, and some people, without them even telling me, I can tell. Some people actually physically say it. Some people, I can just tell, like, they really enjoy it when I work out with them. And those people I will work out with, like, oh, they want me to be their mirror. It's way more motivating. We're doing the whole workout together. Totally for it. And I love working out, so it's fun for me. But, I know, right? People here, they're like, we can't relate to you anymore. Turn off. Don't want to hear that anymore. Depends.
No, truthfully, like, I see it now, but
depends.
Yeah.
Depends. I have to be doing. I'll get into that after. We have to be doing the things that you love.
Yes.
You define form of fitness that you love, and then you'll understand what that means. Love working out, right?
Yes.
I'm talking freaking like pole dancing. If that's the fitness you love, do that, right? Anyways,
It's a
we'll
good
get into
workout.
that. It's an amazing workout. Like these pole dance, they are so strong. Oh my god. Anyways,
yeah.
we got the
Amazing.
boobs, pole dancing.
I know.
You know, this is a very
Who are we?
intense interview. Anyways, so yeah, so that's just something that's really important to me, that I am aware that I'm listening to the client and what they want, because I have certain clients who don't like when I work out with them.
Yeah.
Right? They like to be like, Esther, I need to be looking at my form at all times, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that I am doing it right. I need to just someone like watching me,
Right.
helping me count, just do whatever it is, and like just cheering from the sidelines, and that's also great. So the way it
I feel
works,
like I like a little bit of a combination. Like if I'm
That's
doing
me
something
too.
really hard, I'm
There
like,
you
better
go.
freaking do this
Yes.
with me.
you better get off. You better be suffering on me. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So many clients love hearing like, people don't believe that I get sore. Oh, I get sore.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I get sore. I'm like, the people just kind of like sometimes like,
I see you as like a fitness goddess,
it's
like
just ridiculous.
untouchable.
No, I literally, oh my god. So I tell them very often before, like I'm about to do leg day with the client, whatever, and it's very important to me. I always do the workout that I'm doing for a client. I always do it myself first, because I need to make sure that it's good. And a lot of times that specific workout will make me hella sore, right? And I'll be like super sore and like dying, and I'll be like, before we start, you just know how much pain I'm in, okay?
From this workout.
will make you feel better. People like hearing I'm in pain. They're always like, good,
Right.
excellent.
Right.
So obviously all jokes and fun, whatever. But the idea is like
Excellent.
sometimes it's like get down on the floor with me. I need that,
Right.
motivation. And sometimes it's not. So it overall ends up happening. For sure, I'm working out once a day for myself. It is my therapy. It is my self-love. I go to sleep at night like really feeling great if I got my workout in. And I'm talking about mine without anyone else, like without guiding anyone else in my workout. In regards to like how many times a day, it really just depends on like.
I was more thinking
Which
week,
one?
Esther.
Oh, okay.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay, got it. Point is.
But you work out every day.
No, 6 days a week.
Okay.
Sometimes even 5. Depends on like, whatever. But it's never like if I don't, I'm like mad.
Right. I also was gonna ask
No.
that, like in terms of positivity and the way that you see
It's a
things.
great question.
Like I'm sure I even know like when I was working out with you, like I just had a crazy Shabbat and I ate this and that, and I just
Absolutely.
feel like I'm so much more behind, or like I feel like my workouts aren't worthwhile anymore. It's like,
Exactly.
what do you say when a client comes to you with that, or even for yourself?
So that's kind of like my favorite, when people come to me with it's like a challenge, if that makes sense. Like, if people come up to me and they say, Esther, this is a classic example. Okay, it was Pesach vacation, I was gone for 2 weeks, I don't know, whatever it is. They went to America, they come back, Esther, I'm starting from square one. No, you're not. Literally, no, you're not. That is just silly. It takes about 6 months for your body to forget.
Undo.
Exactly. You can't, sometimes with cardio, your heart needs a little bit more of a wake up. Sometimes the first session back after 2 weeks might be good, but your muscles. Anyways, so the idea is, it's really important, I think, to have a trainer that's there to make sure that you don't lose sight of no, you haven't slipped anywhere, honey. You had one bad Shabbat. It's okay. We're gonna get right back to it, and that's something I find myself saying so often, because that is the most common. Listen, the people that are training with me, I mean, everyone's different. I even train a personal trainer right now, which is funny.
Wow.
Like there's all different kinds. There's people she's.
I know what that feels like. Like I love photographing photographers. It's so much fun.
There you go, right? And at the end of the day, there's also people that are completely the other end where it's just like, I've never worked out in my life. I had zero motivation. I'm always down on myself. I'm always, sure I'm doing,
the wrong thing.
I'm sure I'm not moving forward in the way that I want to. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever it is, you need to deal with every single person in a different way. And just back to the positivity thing, like, that is something I know I was gifted with, to be able to help people, like, just see the other side. Like, don't let these thoughts cloud your mind. They're not true.
Yes.
Forget the fact that they're not true, but also to have someone there to, like, I just see it as my job, That's part of my job, to just clear people's mind, make sure they're not letting themselves cloud themselves with negativity or think like, oh, I just ruined it all over Shabbat or this.
And it seems like from the things that you post that you really do eat really balanced. Like you're eating really healthy, but you do allow yourself like
absolutely. Oh my
the deliciousness of life.
Are you kidding me? Food is awesome. Imagine I wasn't able to eat like what I want to eat. One of my favorite things that I think a lot of my clients also say to me. So we already spoke about positivity, but this is like my all-time favorite, is that I am relatable.
Yeah.
Okay? And when I say that, okay, maybe the fact that I like working out is the not relatable part about me, but...
Well, you have to have something.
Has to be something, right?
Something intimidating.
I did it. The point is, I want people to know that I'm not this, like, whatever, like, I don't know, people look at my body a lot, and that is something that I know is going to happen when you're hiring a personal trainer. It's like, okay, like, well, am I going to look like her? Do I want to look like her?
Right.
And I see that a lot. And I think that the fact that I'm not like cut. I'm not this, I'm really strong. That I've worked 8 years on. I'm still
freaking strong.
I'm aware of that. I'm happy to say that, whatever. But like, I love that I'm just a normal looking girl. You know what I mean? And like, people sometimes expect personal trainers to look like these, like, ripped, cut, like, insanely big.
Was that ever your goal? Did you change your mind?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I just work out because it's fun. Like, I don't know if I've ever had this, like, listen, I've always wanted, to move forward, and I'm always moving towards a goal, and it's so fun that I'm starting to see my abs, more than I ever have in my life, and this took me years, like years. But like it's like such a secondary, reason for me. And
working out has become your lifestyle.
Yeah, and the happiness that comes from working out is my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna let that, my metabolism works a certain way, and other women's metabolism works a certain way, and my body's just built to just look normal. I don't know. Like, the idea is like that's great to just like be yourself, and like whatever happens, like it's kind of inevitable. Like you're gonna work out every day, like you're gonna start seeing the definition or losing fat, and this is just factual. But for everyone, it's at different speeds, and I'm like so happy with how my body is because of so many reasons, but also because of like how so many of my clients are like, I want, like, I feel like I can get what you have gotten, if that makes sense. And like they see themselves like, there's no way I could ever have this insane six-pack and this stuff, whatever. And like,
I feel like I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, please.
I feel like the root of all evil is like the comparison.
Oh my God, don't get me started.
It's
my God, for sure. It's the devil.
I mean, and I'm sure like you are on Instagram and you follow like all these like personal trainers and fitness professionals, everything. And to be able to like filter that out and be like, but my body is amazing and beautiful the way it is. Like if we were never looking at any other body, we were just looking at our own, it would be so much healthier. How do you filter that out?
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite question.
Yay.
I need everyone who is watching this, okay? Because this is just back to the subject of how we were talking about, like, just, sort your life the right way. Surround yourself with the right people. Energize yourself properly, whatever it is. That is how you're going to approach, how you're going to look at other people and yourself, okay?
Yeah.
And a huge
I don't
thing.
think you realize, like, how much it changes how you see other people.
Exactly.
Which is so big.
Oh my God. Okay. If people just assume, okay, and it's pretty natural to compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
You look at pictures, we're humans. That's just a very natural thing. The things we're talking about right now are like, this isn't natural.
Right.
This is like things you have to work on, right?
Right. And you shouldn't be ashamed of your thoughts.
No. Of course.
What comes naturally to you.
Of course.
Yeah.
But taking those natural thoughts, not being ashamed of them, rather turning them into something positive. And what do I mean by that?
I love this.
I know. This is so important.
Good.
Everybody, listen up. You hear me?
Listen
Up. You don't look at other people, okay, and then look at yourself in a negative way. No. You look at other people and you say, good for them. That's like freaking fantastic that they have their strengths and their, in their area. I'm talking about in fitness and physical, the way they look, or even just in their life. I don't know. They're talking about they're better at me at, I don't know, like building houses.
Right.
I don't know.
Ping pong.
Yeah, great. Those damn ping pong guards. Point is, it's not fair to yourself to allow yourself to just kind of compare and be like, I don't have what they have. Great. No. Instead, you're going to look at what you do have and focus on that. Okay? Yes. You have to say, okay, let's say I'm going to use myself as an example. Like, okay, I don't have a chiseled, kind of like toned look, I guess, is like whatever. But like, I'm like really strong, and I'm really positive, okay? Yeah. And I know that I make
and
people
you have really
feel...
good hair. Do you want me to go on?
There's things about myself that I just started to myself. There's things about myself that I'm so aware of and I love about myself. And I'll say, you know what? Maybe this person that, has these chiseled abs, whatever, like, maybe they can't, make people feel comfortable around me like I can. Like, that is just, I love that about myself. And I can that is something I've worked years. Rebecca, everyone watching, this is not something that can come easy, and I'm aware of that. But if you are able to just separate the idea of like, I wish I was like them, as opposed to, I wish I had what they had, and instead looking at, I'm so emotional about this. This really touches me. Like, instead looking at the positives about yourself, like you,
focus on the good.
Oh my God, you're gonna love yourself every day, every minute of every day, and that is the goal. And by the way,
and you'll love other people more.
There you go. And just once again, rearing back to the whole positivity thing. Like, if you love yourself, you're most likely gonna be a positive person. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it all stems from.
Like, people always think that when I say that I think everybody is beautiful and that I think every woman is beautiful.
I love that. I love it. Oh,
it's like, so that's bullshit. Like, there's no way. Or they think that, like, I'm judging them. And I'm sure you get the same thing when you're, like, training someone. Like, people might feel self-conscious at first. But once they realize that you're really not, then that comfortability level changes. Sure. But also, like, it's not bullshit for me. Like, and I think it is a process of me, like, loving myself. Also, like, going through the process of, like, understanding other women and their bodies and their stories and, like, seeing the good in them and focusing on what I think is beautiful. And then you see, like, everything is like, so much beautiful.
Yeah. Right? What is the definition of beautiful? Right. And you choose to not make it just like a pinpoint, this is beautiful, this is not. There's so much that is beautiful about a human. Right? I love that. I love whenever I see you write that. I know it's like, I don't want to say your mantra, I don't want to say it, but like, I know that you write that a lot, and I love that so much. And that's a really important thing for people to know. That's, you're making a big difference in this world.
Thank you. You too.
Be aware. Be very aware.
I think we have to end on that. That was like incredible.
I know, seriously.
You're amazing.
I have chills.
I know. I didn't think it was gonna like get that deep, and I mean, whatever. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
It's easy to talk about these things with people that just understand it. You are someone that not just understands it, you embody it, you spread it to the world, and it's amazing how you're changing people's lives, and I'm so happy I got to be a part of this. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks so much for watching. I had such a blast. I hope that you did too, and feel free to subscribe below if you want to see more videos like this. And
it's a great YouTube channel?
Follow Esther. She's amazing. You're going to have such a fun time watching all of her Instagram videos and all of her social media posts. She's incredible.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye,
Bye, guys.